Today we're going to be building Lego Technic set 42209, the Volvo L120 electric wheel loader. This set comes with 973 pieces and retails in the US for $120. Looks like a cool set, so let's get started. Okay, so this is the Lego Technic set 42209, the Volvo L120 electric wheel loader. Set comes with 973 pieces and retails in the US for $120. This is an interesting set. It has a lot of functionality, and I do enjoy building a lot of these construction sets. So, I mean, in this case, they have, with just under 1,000 pieces, there's a lot of cool functionality here. It does look good too. I like how the set build itself was actually really interesting, putting together the front and then the Technic pieces in the back and the side, and kind of bringing all the connections and the functionality together. So this top knob here basically turns the loader left or right, the front loader left or right. The back one here raises or lowers the tray here, or sorry, the loader here at the bottom. And then this back here, this last one back here, raises or lowers the lift arm. So you can pretty much bring this all the way up as high as you want. So it was interesting to build this. I had a lot of fun putting it together. It actually took me a little longer than I thought, because there's a lot of small pieces, especially around the sides and the back here. But there's a lot of cool detail that I like, especially around the front, the way they put together the functionality with some of the lights. And then moving around to the back here, so you'll see there's a handful of stickers on this set, but not too bad. Basically, this is the electric charger back here all the way at the end. And then kind of moving around to the sides, pretty much the same thing over here. The back of the set also does flip up, so you can see the internal engine when it turns. So you can see the gears rotating here for the wheels. And then, of course, that just simply closes there. There's a couple stairwells here. And then inside the front here with the driver's seat here, or sorry, the operator's seat here. So there's a little glass cup here. And then there are two controls inside as well as the seat. I like how they've designed the seat there. And then there's also a steering wheel, which is a nice little feature. I think Lego, again, has done a nice job with a lot of these construction sets. So I had a lot of fun putting this one together. There aren't too many stickers on this set. Not too bad. Didn't take too long to apply them, but again, I mean, because it's a Volvo set, again, with a Technic set, I do think that there's quite a few stickers on this set. Most of the set is on the side here, on the back, and then kind of repeating on the other side. And then on the front here with the electric pieces, stickers, those are also. And then just looking at the manual here, so of course it's a Technic set. There's a nice picture here in the front. I do like how they elevated the arm there. And then it just pretty much gets right into the build. There are 8 bags in this set, and like I said, it probably took me, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours overall to build this whole thing. But it was a lot of fun. I think overall, the price point is a little high. I think just above what you would expect for just under 1,000 pieces. But again, it is a Volvo set, branded set. So that's probably why this is a little elevated. But otherwise, I'd say it was a pretty good buy. I enjoyed building it. It does look pretty good. It does have some cool functionality, and the build was actually really interesting. So I would recommend it if you're a Technic fan. You like building these construction vehicles. So again, I hope you enjoyed this build and review. And if you did, I appreciate you clicking on like and subscribe. And once again, I appreciate your support, and thanks for watching.